Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Young Black Equestrians, the podcast. Today we have another episode of our interview series called Uncover. Uncover stands for Understanding the Needs, Challenges, Opportunities, Vision, and Emerging Roles in the Black Horse Community. Today we have Demetris Sanders. Demetrius is a employee of the Department of the Interior, more specifically the Bureau of Land Management. And more specific than that, he represents the Wild Horse and Burro program. He is a wild horse and burro specialist, which means he protects, manages, and adopts out wild Mustangs and burros that are federally protected in 10 western states. He is joining us today to speak on that program and to speak on how he got into horses and his journey to this federally funded program that's supporting horses all over the nation. So, welcome, Demetris Sanders. You are listening to Young Black Equestrians, the podcast, with your hosts, Aubriana Johnson and Caitlin Gooch.
All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Demetris Sanders. I am a wild horse and burro specialist for the Department of Interior Bureau of Land Management. I'm actually based in Flowood, Mississippi, and we cover the 13 Southeastern States District Office for protecting and managing wild Mustangs. So I am a retired veteran. I did 20 years in the United States Navy. I was born and raised in Vicksburg, Mississippi. I grew up here, left. I graduated high school in Aiken, South Carolina, joined the Navy, came back, worked at the casino for a minute. And I had horses before I left. And when I got back, after I retired at the Navy, got back into the horse business. And that drove me to seek a job doing something I love. And I was blessed to come across this job as a wild horse and burro specialist, and I've been doing it for about 14 months now, and I love it. And I tell people, all the time that they engage with me in the public, find something that you love, you're passionate about, and I'm passionate about horses. I love horses, and I just love what I'm doing. So that's pretty much how I got into the business. And
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
That is pretty cool. So, what is one of the or how has being a minority in your field, either coming through the military to where you are now, how is that giving you a different perspective on what you see and what you work with?
Well, to tell you, I am the only African American on my team. There's a team of 7 of us. And like I said, I'm a diversified person. I bring a different flavor, as you would say, different ideas to more than, to what people are more accustomed to, And believe it or not, this program is ran by a Black woman out of Oklahoma. She's pretty high up. Her name is Holly Waddell. She's one of the top women in this program. She's out of Oklahoma district. But it pretty much, there are different things, you see different things you'll come across. There is no racism because they pretty much welcome me in the program, and I had to jump right into it. But as far as my perspective, when I go to different programs, like I go to different states, I really don't see a lot of us as minorities that really come out. I can probably count on all my hands, fingers, and toes how many African Americans I've seen at events. And I'm hoping that by us connecting with you all, that we can kind of like reach that small minority population and let them know what's out there, and what's going on as far as horses and what opportunities that can arise. And maybe people are looking for something to do, and they don't know where to go. But I feel myself as a new avenue of reaching communities, helping with the public, in that
Right.
perspective.
Right, right. And do you think it's because, or do you think people don't attend because they simply don't know about it, or because they're not interested?
I think a lot of people don't know because
Right.
when you when people come up to us in the public, they say, I didn't know this existed. That's the first answer they hear because we do radio
Mm-hmm.
teleblast, as you know, as promotion through the radio, send out flyers to the local Tractor Supplies, try to reach out to local farmers or, like what you call those feed stores. Any way
Yeah,
we can get the word out. And
right.
most of our doctors or customers that come up, people that just want to see Mustangs, say they have never heard of the program. And
Yeah.
so, and they'll tell you, a lot of people say, I never knew they position even existed, so.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't either. Because
Hmm.
I mean, the Bureau of Land Management, period. Like, I didn't even know that
Hmm.
that was a thing, which is awesome. I mean, when I was doing some research on it, it makes
Hmm.
perfect sense. It has its
Hmm.
complete function. So
Hmm.
that was pretty cool.
Yep.
And it's not just about the Bureau of Land Management is not just about like the horses. It's kind of about sustainability and protection of
Yes.
the land and the creatures on
Hmm.
it.
Yep.
So
So
I thought that was
we,
pretty
we're
cool.
yeah, we're all about maintaining healthy animals and sustaining their public rangeland and public lands. That's what
Yeah,
it's all about. It's kind
yeah,
of like balance each other out. Hmm.
right, right. So I guess we can talk a little bit more about that program. I first wanted to
Um,
ask, because I know a lot of people will say, why? Why are these Mustangs being, you know, captured and
okay.
sold or given away, sold away, what why are they
Uh,
being taken from their
all
natural
right. Okay. I'm glad you asked that question. All right. Basically, as of today, March 1st, we have a nationwide. I mean, out west, all
habitat?
10 western states. There's approximately about 90,000 wild horses and burros
Hmm.
that are roaming free. They're on government lands and they're being protected federally. Okay. Basically, what happens is when their numbers, each herd, they have what they call HMAs. Those are called herd management areas. Okay.
Hmm.
And each state has an HMA, and when that they have what they call a allowable management level. When that number gets above that allowable management level, we have to go in and do what they call a gather.
Hmm.
People called them roundups back in the day, but we call them gathers. They're scheduled. They'll meet. They have a briefing, and they're going to target a specific amount of numbers to bring the numbers back down to a
Right.
management level. So basically, if you have too many horses or burros in one area, they're going to either starve themselves to get to death by eating themselves off the range, or they're going to be in competition with the local wildlife or the local cattle ranchers who may be having cattle. So we have to go in, remove so many horses to bring the number down so the herd can be healthy and the ecosystem can be healthy and they can sustain uh, this amount of horses or burros that's in the area. Now, sometimes we have to go in and to remove nuisance animals. They probably went outside their range and they destroyed property. So we have to go in and remove those animals. And once those animals are removed, it's our job to put them in good homes. And that's a very tedious process of screening applicants on that process.
Right, right.
Yep.
Are the
Now,
horses protected? Like like once they go to a new home, do you follow their progress? Are they still
Yes,
protected as at the new home?
yes, I could take you through that process. So how that happens is once the horse is gathered off the range, it will be freeze marked. There is a brand going down the left side of his neck, and it's called a freeze mark, and it's basically equal to like the social security number for us.
Right.
Okay. We have a system called the alpha angle code, and each angle on that's branded on that horse neck represents a number. Well, we'll decode that number and type it in our system. It'll give us the life history of the horse, where it's been when it's captured and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So once once the horse is sent to us, we'll do our adoption application. We will screen the applicants. I mean, we would type their name in,
Mm-hmm.
see if they adopted before. If they have, then they're good. And once the horse is gone we would do a phone interview within like maybe 2 or 3 months after the horse is gone. We'll do a phone compliance check,
Mm-hmm.
and then we do a compliance check on the actual horse. So, and when the horse is at the year mark from the time the horse was adopted, they will be eligible to get the official title paperwork for the horse, which would look like a graduation diploma. It'll have the horse's name, the owner's name on it, and it's officially their horse. But up to their year, they have to maintain their horse. They have to keep it fed. They have to let us know if they move the horse. If it's going to be moved more than 30 days, they have to notify us. And they cannot sell or trade their horse unlawfully, because if they do, there will be criminal penalties involved.
Right.
And right now, I could go on record saying we do have a case going on in Florida right now. It's a big thing. You probably can look online. It happened in Tampa Bay. So, but we're actually prosecuting people that actually unlawfully transfer horses to kill buyers. And we do not, and I will repeat, we are not intending to slaughter animals. We are not shooting animals to bring the numbers down. That's not what we do. And we do recover animals, and I do seize animals. I have done it recently.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I have ended up with a Mustang, and he has a freeze brand on him. I clearly cannot read it because I've never seen him. But if I were to read it and, get all his information, and we were to find out that he was unlawfully given to us, what would happen?
Well, I'll tell you this, what happened. How long you have the Mustang?
We've had him, I think, for maybe going on 5 years now.
Okay, this is what will happen. What I do need you to do is shave his freeze mark. Just take a picture of it, okay? When at your convenience, take a picture, a real clear picture. Send me the picture of the freeze mark. Make sure you shave it from the, it's about 9 characters in the just shave it real good. Send me a picture. I could tell you the history on that horse just by deciphering the code on it. And now, if that horse is titled, what I would do is I would write you a title letter, okay, telling you, okay, this horse is titled, and this is the life history of this horse. And that would give you ownership of the horse. Now, if that horse is unlawfully transferred, you will not be in trouble. We will contact the person who gave the horse, and say, okay, we found this horse, but we will keep you out of the loop and just contact that person and go from there. Now, we would give you the option if the horse is unlawfully transferred. We would give you the option, and it'll depend on the age of the horse. If the horse is sale eligible, we'll just tell you, okay, the horse, you can outright buy the horse for $25. So it'll be yours. We'll do a bill of sale and give you the rights to that horse. Now, if the horse is adopted and they unlawfully transferred it to you, or they gave it to you and it wasn't titled, we would just do a reassignment to you. as the adopter, then you will be the actual adopter of the horse. Then 1 year from that date, you will get the title for that horse, and then it's officially yours. But you, as the person who received the horse, not knowing, will not be in trouble. It's the person that transferred the horse to you.
Wow. Okay.
That's pretty interesting. So, I mean, it's a pretty serious thing. I feel like that a lot of people take it for granted, or just because you can move horses around so quickly. But when you get to these protected animals, any kind of animal, you know, it's pretty serious consequences when you don't do it the right way.
Yeah, and I mean, it's an easy process. I mean, you know, it's just basically filling out a paperwork. Now, I've seen Mustangs. Now, I don't know if you've seen, we have what they call an online corral on our website on the www.blm.gov. And people actually, you know, they see the color, the paints, the palominos, which is my favorite. They bid on those horses online, so there is an online bidding, and but the process used to be $125 if you adopt it, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna introduce you all to this program that a lot of people don't really know about, especially minorities. It's called the TIP program. It's called the Trainer Incentive Program. And what that program does is, you as a trainer, you will send your application in to me to requesting to become a TIP trainer through the Mustang Heritage Foundation. Now, the Mustang Heritage Foundation is a nonprofit. They're located in Georgetown, Texas, and they are the ones that have you all heard of the Extreme Mustang Makeover?
Yeah.
Event? All right, so they are the ones that conduct that. So those people they get their Mustangs from us. So we just did 2 Extreme Mustang Makeover pickups this year. The first one was in Ocala, Florida in January, and we just completed one in Lebanon, Tennessee in February. So, all right. So you can request to become a TIP trainer through the Mustang Heritage Foundation. And what they do is, you will show up to the event. You'll be qualified. You'll send your application in. We'll say, okay, you got the facility to hold a Mustang. And I will cover the requirements also after I tell you about the program. So as a TIP trainer, once you get qualified, you will show up to the event and you will say, okay, I'm a TIP trainer. I would like to pick up 2 horses. Okay, you get 2 horses. Now, as a TIP trainer, you don't pay nothing. You're fostering the horse. And as a TIP trainer, you will take the horse home. Your job is to gentle the animal, get it desensitized, show it how to lead, halter break it, load and unload, and stand for groom and pick up all 4 feet. All right. You can take it further than that if you will learn, but that's the minimum that you would have to do.
Right.
Once you're done with the horse, you find an adopter or somebody to buy the horse if it's sale eligible, because there are 2 different ways you could do it. Once you're done with the horse, and your client signs off that they're satisfied with the horse trainer, you would get paid $1,200 tax free from Mustang Heritage. You will actually contact me and say, hey, the horse is done, and the person you found to take the horse will send their application and I approve it. Did I email Mustang Heritage saying, hey, Brianna or Caitlin has done training this horse? Bam, they pay you for the training. Boom. You're done. You can go back and get another horse if you want to.
Yeah, so you don't have to break the horse to ride. They just need to be desensitized.
Desensitized. You don't have to saddle break them. Nope.
Okay.
And most of the time, and at the events, we'll put the halter on for you before they even leave
right.
out. We'll halter them. Yep.
Right.
And that's a program I haven't seen a lot of minorities involved. I don't even know of one minority tip trainer in the
Right.
nation. I mean, so that's something I'm also seeking to try to get more minorities involved in the tip
Mhm.
program, because it's a real good deal if you got the passion, if you're gonna do right for the horses.
Right. Right.
You know.
Yeah, I'm looking on your website
Now,
now on the corral. There are so many beautiful horses on here.
yep. I was just blessed to go to Wyoming in August to see the other side of, I'm on the back side. I seen after the horses and got gathered. So I actually had an opportunity to go to Wyoming, Rawlins, Wyoming, and up in the mountains, and we did a gather where we captured 1,445 horses while I was there.
Wow.
That's a lot.
And one band of horses they brought in was nothing but black and white paints, and I was just in shock and awe of how beautiful those horses were.
Mm-hmm.
So all the it's a lot of beautiful wild horses out there. 16 hands high, blue roans, So I'm salivating in the mouth as I see these horses, because I can't bring any back with me, So all I can do is wait, and hopefully some of those horses will make their way down to the East Coast for adoption events. Because what I found is our adopters like size and they love color,
Mm-hmm.
So they get those two, they're gone. They're out the door, So we recently just came back from Searcy, Arkansas last Sunday, where we did an event, and we brought in about 35 animals, and 30 went out the door. So
That's
we
awesome.
only sent back 5.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. But like you said, you don't see very minorities at these events adopting them either.
Well, no, I may see one or two, pretty much.
Yeah. We're gonna have to get some of these cowboys out here up to the challenge.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I am the wild horse and burro specialist over the state of Kentucky and Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be holding the Extreme Mustang Makeover event in Lexington, Kentucky this year, June 20th through the 22nd at the Kentucky Horse Park.
Okay.
So if you all want to come, and that's what I would recommend people. If they want a horse, a Mustang that's saddle broke, riding, you can come there and you can buy those horses at the event, because they'll be auctioned off at the end.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what other opportunities, you at this point you get to travel around and, go on these gathers and see all these horses. How would someone who wanted to do something like that kind of get in the field?
It's a real tight field. I'm telling you, like I said, you can go on USA Jobs. They do internships for people who's in college. We had a couple of interns that traveled with us last year.
Mm-hmm.
They came to the events, and you can contact the Washington office at blm.gov. They do offer internships, and they do get to go and travel with us to the events. Yeah, you just have to apply. Yep. Now, now here's another thing. We do have volunteers. You can volunteer, and you just have to simply sign up as a volunteer for the Wild Horse and Burro program.
Mm-hmm.
We come to that area. You can come work with us, at the event.
Okay.
Pretty much. We do have a lot of people that follow us. If we're in Georgia, we have people come up from Florida. I've seen people from Florida come all the way up to South Carolina, Kentucky, just to see us and work. So, we do have a volunteer service program.
That's awesome. Let me think. I guess my last question would be, what do you think is the biggest challenge when working with this program and trying to place these horses?
What's the biggest challenge is trying to move the horses?
Yeah, whether or not it's placing them or getting them or.
Well, the logistics part is what I'm actually in the process of doing now. I'm actually planning an event right now for Murray State University. They're partnering with us. This is something we're trying. And the most hard part I've seen is the logistics of getting the facility, getting hay, vets, getting everything to come together to gel, timelines is real. It's real important around here, because I'm constantly on the phone, waiting for a return phone call, waiting on an email, and you got to get in applications to review them and approve them. So it's the hardest part is the logistics part, what I'm doing now in the office. The fun part is being in the field when we go to the events and we get to see the kids, interact with the public, and then we get that customer satisfaction knowing that we placed a horse in a good home. And that's basically what our job is. We're more worried about the horse. The horse is the priority, not the customer. I'm gonna tell you that now. I'm more worried about the horse.
Yeah.
That's my priority. I want to make sure I'm putting a good horse in a good home at the end of the day.
Right.
And I don't want that. I want to make sure that horse is going good, and I can go home and sleep and say, yeah, because I don't want to get that phone call like I did. I could get up in the middle of the night and head to Florida, So, but the logistics part is the hard part. Putting it all together, putting events together, but once you do it, you get to sit back and evaluate how we could have did this or some things will change. And I mean, when we go to different places, we don't set up the same way. We might have to configure our pens because we do set up everything. We set up our own corrals. We're bringing our own haltering chutes, load out chutes, water tubs, tarps, and everything. And we do the whole. It's like they call it the traveling circus sometimes, but but at the end of the day, it's all about the horses. That's what it's all about.
Right. Do you ever have any horses that you cannot place?
Yes. Now, some horses that they. How can I put this? All right, we have what they call shipment reports. All right. And sometimes they say, "Oh, how did this horse get on that truck? This horse made the shipment," but it's not on the shipment report. But it's all logistic. But yes, we do have a couple horses. Some people might see a sway back, or it might be club footed. And so, well, I meant to also tell you all. Are you all aware that we do have 2 eco sanctuaries for Mustangs?
No.
All right, there are 2. I think one is in California and one is in Oklahoma. But when a Mustang gets to a certain age limit with us, and it does not get adopted or sold, each time one of those wild horses come to an event, it gets what they call a strike count. All right, so if it doesn't get picked up, it'll get a strike. So basically, after 3 strikes, that horse becomes eligible for long-term holding. And what does that mean is that horse will get a number. It'll be branded on the behind, the left hip. It'll have 4 numbers on it. And that means it's qualified to go to a long-term holding. That's an eco sanctuary, and that horse is going to go out with other horses, wild horses, that didn't make it to get adopted, and they're going to live out their life as a horse. They won't have to worry about they'll be fed. They will be on thousands of acres of land, roaming free. Won't have to worry about nobody shooting them or harassing them at all. Yes. we do have those eco-sanctuaries.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty
and
awesome.
you can, they have one eco-sanctuary for the geldings, and they have one for the mares. They're not mixed. So, and they do allow the public to go out and look at the horses. Yeah.
It's
now,
really
if you're
nice.
all now, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just about to say, it's really nice to hear, that positive side, because a lot of times when we think of rescue horses and what doesn't happen when they're adopted, we think, oh, they're sent to a slaughterhouse. But in this case, they're sent to live their lives as horses.
Yeah, we do not send our horses. Okay, I'll go ahead and say it because I cleared it with my public affairs. That's where I went to Florida to get a horse out of a kill pen. Yes. And we do have a problem with that. We do have problems with unlawful transferring. And what happened is these so-called kill buyers, they exploit our horses. You get the horse for $25, and once you got it, you put it on Facebook or social media and exploiting, and they raised the price by 1,000%. So you basically got a $25 horse, and now you done increase the value of that horse for about 1,000%. And you do have people that will pay it just to get it out, but and that's where I come in at with the compliance and checking up on the horses. And even though I do a lot of talking, I love to talk, as you can tell. When I'm at the event, I'm long-winded. When I'm at the event, that's what I'm doing. I'm telling them, okay, I know you want this horse, but you and I got to be a team. We got to stay connected. You got to stay in contact with me because I'm basically like the DHS for wild horses. You got to let me know what's going on. Yeah, that's basically what I do. If the horse dies, if the horse dies, I need to know so I can enter a death record. If you move the horse, I need to know. So now once that horse is officially yours, you don't have to tell me nothing.
Right.
You don't have to call me. I don't have to call you. That's basically, we're done. But I still maintain that. I still maintain that relationship because I want the customer to come back. They'll fall in love with a Mustang and say, oh, I want another one. So it's my job to stay engaged with them, not just for that moment, because I'm like I said, it's all about the horse. So I still want to know what's going on with that horse until I get that horse title. Once it's off the book, I still go back and call and say, hey, how such and such is doing?
Yeah.
Oh, he's doing good, or she's doing well. But I when I'm at the events, I tell people, I know you like the horse, but here's what you're coming up with. This is what you're gonna get. This is what you got to do on your end.
Right.
So this is what you're gonna be held accountable for.
So tell us what you think. There's this movie just came out. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called The Mustang, and it's about the prison system getting these Mustangs and having inmates work with them and do some training. And I haven't watched the movie. I've only seen the trailer, but it just came out on the 15th. Is that something? I mean, I know it's based on real events, but is that a component of your program, or is that something like completely different?
Oh, yes, we do have the prison program. I think it's one in Hutchinson. One is in it was in Kansas City. But that is a part of our program where they do, these prisons they get Mustangs and they let the inmates work with the Mustangs. And that's another good avenue to get a horse because they're going to ride those horses every day. So that is part of the BLM program.
Yeah.
We do have prison programs.
And that's pretty cool. It's so multifaceted. There's so many avenues for these horses to go down. Even though the need is just getting them off this land because of overcrowding, but they can still find placement, and there's different ways that they can go, which that's pretty cool.
That is pretty dope.
Yeah. So I know you didn't ask me, but I'm gonna put this out. So just in case people who are hearing or they go back and listening, if
Yeah.
you are if you're interested in getting a Mustang, a
Mhm.
wild Mustang,
Mhm.
the requirements are you must be at least 18 years old. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, the applicant must have no conviction or mishumane treatment of a wild, free, warming horse or burro act. They shouldn't have. We're gonna check that anyway. And the minimum requirement for to house a Mustang is 20 by 20, 6 foot fence. All right.
Mhm.
Um, that's what that minimum requirement is just until you get the animal gentle down.
Okay.
Now it's 6 foot for Mustangs for the horses. Now we do adopt our yearlings.
Mhm.
That fence can be down to 5 feet, and then for burros it'll be 4.5 feet. You know,
Mhm.
and the shelter can be it's the shelter requirements are different for each state, but more than likely you can have a tree as a natural shelter or a 3-sided lean-to, and then you're pretty much good. And then we also inspect trailers because I'm gonna tell you, I've seen some trailers pull up, and I'll be like,
My horse ain't going in
I,
there.
I'll tell you, I see some trailers this last event, and I was just like, oh my god. We can't load this. You know, we actually inspect the trailers. We go inside the trailers, make sure no protruding objects, nothing is hanging like a hay bag or anything, because the horses are wild. They can hang themselves and get tangled up. And, you know, if you got slants, we actually, if they can take the slants out, they take them out. They can be tied back. That's good. You know, but no straight loads. No, we cannot. We do not load straight bumper pulls. No, because there is no room for that Mustang to turn around, and I'm not closing the door behind it because I don't want to be kicked 30 feet back. So
Right.
yeah, so
Right.
we do inspect it. We do inspect the trailers when they come, so to make sure they got something they can hold that Mustang and get it home. Because we do have people that haul. They go to Florida, you know, and they got to have that room for their horse to turn around in.
Right. Right. Wow. Well, I'm so thankful that you reached out and that we were able to get you on the phone today. I know that.
No problem. Anytime.
Yeah.
I'd love to come back and do it again. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we can check you guys out, whether it be at the Mustang Makeover, because that's not too far away in June, or when you guys come down to Lumberton, if you can make that work.
Yeah. My coworker is actually, you know, we're in a cubicle office type deal. So he's when I come to the conference room to do this, he was actually on the phone calling in Carolina. So, you know, and if you all know a place that's like a covered arena that we can go to, we would love to know about it. And we'll come set up because we don't try to go to the same area because we don't want to saturate the area. We try to go like maybe 100 miles away or 75 miles. We try to do radius so we won't saturate one area at one time the same every year.
Right.
Some places we have to go every year because we do real good there. You know, like for instance, Ocala, ma'am.
I was going to say, I have a covered arena here at our farm, and it's huge.
Wow. And,
yeah.
And what city is that? What city is that?
We're in Wendell, North Carolina, which is about 20 minutes from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What's the name of it? Say it again.
Wendell, North Carolina.
Wendell. Okay. All right. Is your personal covered arena?
Yeah, my dad. We are out here and we have a horse farm. Yep, it's ours.
Well, Caitlin, I would like for you to send me that information and probably some dimensions of your arena, and we would love to host an adoption event out there. if we're able
That
to.
would be awesome.
We would
And
love
they
to
bring
host an
their own
adoption.
corrals and stuff, so it's not even
We
like
bring out we bring everything: the water tubs, the corrals, the load out chutes, the load and unloading ramp. We bring our whole semi in there. And we set it up in 2 hours, and then we just be sitting waiting on the horses. I think I sent Abriana. Did I pronounce your name right?
yeah, that's right.
Abriana.
Brianna.
All right. Abriana, I think I sent you. I posted some videos to you where the horses were unloading.
Yes.
Yeah. And like I said, if you go on Facebook, my Facebook page, it's not gonna look nothing like a cowboy. It's gonna be me in a little suit. But follow me on Facebook. And you all can go. I always post videos like from the gather, and I post different videos when I'm at the event, and you can see the variety that we have of color, size. Basically you can see our whole setup. We can. It depend on Caitlin. Depend on the size of the arena will be depending on how many pins we bring or how many loads of horses we bring. Also, but normally we bring.
I think it's 100 by 50. I have to remember. I'll ask my dad.
Yeah, just shoot me an email. Where it's located at, we'll pull it up on Google Maps. That's a good resource for us these days. Being there, that helps us with our planning. We kind of like pull up on Google Maps and look at it and like, yeah, we can get a truck in there. Yep, this would work. And then sometimes like we'll just do a site visit. We'll just call and say, hey, can we come look at the arena? And that's how we do a lot of our logistics planning also.
That's pretty awesome.
We're gonna have
we would love to come up there.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome. So I mean, and even we're going to show our horses at the Hunt Horse Complex in Raleigh, and that's a covered arena also. They have it's an indoor arena, and then they have a covered arena, then an outdoor arena. So, but I know Raleigh is a expensive place to host. So
is that somebody? Was that the Tryon Park? Is that the new one?
No. That's not the new one.
Okay.
This is by the fairgrounds in Raleigh. Yep, the James B. Hunt Horse Complex.
I have to look in our file room and look have we been to that, because we keep statistical data where we go, how we do, and we also keep the planning books of where we go. Now I just walk in and see if I see Raleigh in there. That's probably another option we can go.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'll definitely, Caitlin, I would definitely pass the information on. Once you receive it, email it to me. I'll definitely give it to Curtis. He's over to North Carolina, and he would probably love to talk with you. And because he's always looking we're always trying to plan ahead, I'm not gonna lie. We got kind of behind when the government shutdown happened. We got kind of out of the loop, for about 35 days, no contact with people, we was affected by the shutdown. So we're always looking for new places to go, new spaces to meet, establishing new relationships and friendship with people, so we can build that rapport.
Yeah. Get these horses some homes.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know that new AIP program dropping. You said you looked at it, Abriana, and what you think about it?
I thought it was pretty cool. I knew that there was going to be some stipulations, but I felt like they weren't too aggressive, simply because of the nature of the animal. Like, it's a completely wild animal. It's not like, oh, you're just taking some rank lesson horse and finding it at home. Like, it's a wild animal. So for those people who are like, oh, I gotta have a 6-foot fence, I gotta do, like, you clearly are not the right person, because you don't understand the gravity of what these horses
There
are
we go.
capable of. So
Yeah.
I think the program is great. I think the incentive is nice also. You know, I guess I should ask that. So, because I know some people will ask, the $1,000 that comes with adopting 1 to 4 horses, I think it said on there, is that given at the beginning or at the end of that 1 year?
All right. I'm actually looking at the flyer. All right. So what happens is they will pay $25 for the adoption, the beginning of the adoption process.
Mm-hmm.
All right. They will fill out what they call an adoption incentive agreement with the government. Mm-hmm. And we would sit down and go over them line by line, because we tell them you have to read and initial and understand what you're signing. Right. Then they also have to fill out what they call an ACH form for the banking information. All right, because what's going to happen is 60 days from the adoption date that you adopt the horse, the government will deposit $500 in your account. All right.
Yes.
If you return that animal or unlawfully transfer the animal, you would not get that second $500 deposit. And once you return an animal, then you become ineligible, for the remainder of that year for the program. Mm-hmm. So and then so the second $500 will be deposited in your account at the end of the year, like when your time is up with the horse, and you have kept the horse for a year. Once you title that horse, then you would get the second deposit of $500. Mm-hmm. That's how that works.
That's pretty cool. So, I mean, I know we talked about the horses a lot. So what about these burros? What kind of homes would you ideal for them? Because I feel like I've never seen a wild, I feel like a pretty domestic donkey is still wild. So what's a wild donkey like?
Well, the burros, they're okay. The burros are more, they are. I'm gonna tell you, the burros are popular. When we didn't take any burros to Arkansas, and lo and behold, guess what? Everybody walked in the door and said, "You got any burros? I want a burro." We didn't bring any, but burros are popular. But they go to homes more. Some people get them as what they call a pasture ornament. I don't want to say that. They just like to see an animal out there. And I got a burro. But burros do go to good homes. Those they are the first ones to leave. I will be the first one to go on the record and say burros don't last a whole adoption. They be gone Friday afternoon, noon, maybe 3 o'clock. All the burros are gone, but they do go to good homes. And I just got a request because they're doing this little trainer challenges. I didn't really touch bases on that part, but people request, I want this certain burro, I want a yearling, Jenny. Those things are hard to come about because, we have to put in an animal order form. We can't sit there and, say, I want a Palomino, or we can just say sex, age. We can just basically give them we give the facility a brief mares, geldings between this age, and this many number, because we can't get too specific because they have, even though we got a lot of animals off the rangeland, they still got to go through a process. The stallions got to be studded. Gelded. The mares, if they got yearlings, they got to wean the yearlings off. So there's not just bringing them off, and we're not just bringing them off the rangeland and they're going straight to the adoption. No, they got a process they got to go through. They got to get their shots. And that's another thing. Once you adopt a horse from us, the coggins is already updated and they already got their shots plus the booster shots when they leave off the fairground.
That's awesome.
They already got all their shots. So there'll be UTD. So.
That's one less thing the adopter has to worry about. So it's not like it's a catch. It's not like, oh, we're gonna give you $500, but you got to get their coggins and their vaccines. So that's nice.
Now, Hello?
Yes.
Oh, I thought my phone cut off. I'm sorry. Now being that I'm talking to you, young ladies, you all would be prime candidates for the TIP program and what we call the foster care program.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the foster care means we will authorize you as a foster care provider if we have trouble horses or we needed a horse pickup, we would call you all and say, hey, would you mind going picking this horse up, evaluating this horse and taking it back, and we compensate you for your travel and feeding hay, and you would foster that horse until we can either you can find somebody or we'll find somebody. And if you can't find nobody, we can't, then we'll just come get the animal, or we'll meet you and we'll do a transfer where we'll bring it back to the facility. But if that's something you both are interested in, I would love to give y'all the information on it. It's basically just like you're becoming like a tip trainer. But you just have to have the facility to hold a Mustang, which would be a 20 by 20 corral, 6-foot panel,
Yeah. I know I don't have the facility for that. I can barely hold a mini.
I saw that. I saw you couldn't even get the mini out the house. That was funny. That was funny. I was rolling. I was bad for laughing at that. I was like, oh my God, that mini's giving her trouble. I'm surprised he kicked.
Oh my goodness. He's a mess.
I'm already plotting.
Yeah, but, I know. Kayla, like, I got a stall open.
Yeah. The bird. I'm going to tell you, I have, when y'all was talking about the burros, I just had like a nightmare because the whole team has been waiting for me to get behind a burro and push it, and I had to do it like 2 adoptions ago. And burros, they kick. They're real accurate when they kick. And I had to get behind a big burro, and I could feel him picking his leg up, but he couldn't nail me because I was so close to him. So that was like, okay, well, I guess my initiation is over with now. I done pushed the burro on. They had been waiting on me to do it so long. So
yeah,
but that was kind of funny. But burros, they go pretty fast. A lot of ranchers, people who got like this is calving season, so they'll come get them. So they put them out the calves because they kill coyotes, they kill predators, and they do not play.
Yeah,
they do not play.
No.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
It's the same requirement. There's no problem.
Thank you for listening to the Uncover episode with Demetris Sanders. Be sure to follow us on social media and comment, subscribe, rate us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and SoundCloud. See you guys next time.